Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me and welcome card. This is a pick a card for final answer on a question. We're doing a Celtic cross. So like the last Celtic cross that I did for you guys, we have 4 different decks here. I just arranged them differently so I lose order as to what's going on. But I feel I'm going to align these in a sec. Before we begin, I wanted to show you this crystal because it's a twin. As you can see, it's a twin. And I'm going to try to show you guys a rainbow inside. Hope your day is going well. My name is Veroosh. If you guys are interested in my videos, you can check them out throughout this channel. I have lots of ASMR videos. Reiki meditations between all the channels, and I do monthly tarot, astrology, and Lenormand videos, as well as zodiac relationship compatibility videos. So I don't think I can show you this, but this is a really cute twin that I have, and inside is a rainbow. Let me see. Oh. So I hope you guys are doing well today, and so I'm going to pick 4 piles and we'll do a Celtic cross. So you can just kind of focus on this crystal or try to get relaxed and try to decide what is the final answer on a question that you're having. What is the final answer on a question that you are having, right? Okay, and so we have pile 1. So under each pile is a 10 cards for a Celtic cross, and there is a 3 astrological cards to help us figure out exactly what's going on. Okay, and then on top is a spirit card in which you can choose what spirit you're drawn to. This guy came to the bottom, so we'll do 4 piles today. Okay, so choose 1, 2, 3, and 4 with keeping in mind what is the final answer on your question. Okay, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm going to set the other cards aside because it's very full reading, right? It's going to be a big spread. So if somebody wants to do time caps, please like and comment on this video, okay? Okay, so let's take a look. So number 1, so if you chose number 1, then let's look at your spirit guide and the astrological cards that are associated. Your spirit guide today is this energy. So this spirit has brought you the message about what is your final answer. And so it wants to tell you and share with you this information now, okay? So there we go. So there's 3 zodiac cards, 3 zodiac signs that are associated with your final answer. So these are the signs that are sun, moon, and rising, which are associated with your question, right? And you want to choose 1, 2, and 3, and they may apply in part or in whole to your question. Your first card is Libra, and then we have Gemini, air signs, and then Taurus. Okay, so we have Libra, Gemini, and Taurus are associated with your final answer. So this is your deck, the New Palladini Tarot, and we're going to take a look at your spread. Hold on one sec. Okay, so your first card is, so you have the Moon, and so the Moon represents that you have secret feelings, or there have been secret feelings about a situation. People have not shared their thoughts and ideas precisely about a circumstance or a situation. Something has been hidden or something has been behind the scenes. There could be also a Pisces involved in this circumstance. The next card is the 9 of Swords. There's been considerable sadness regarding the current circumstances or the situation. Somebody may have been deeply, deeply hurt, and I feel as though maybe the conversations haven't happened to the level that they should have in order to clarify the issue. The next message is the Nine of Rods. With the Knight of Rods, what we're talking about is that you've gotten yourself to a safe space. You've gotten yourself out of the difficulties of your current circumstances. But yet there is a persistence of struggle that you are contending with, that you have to face. The next message below the surface is the Seven of Cups. There's been a lot of deception in this situation, and I think it's coming to the surface. You may be aware about this, but this may not be your deception. This may be deception associated with a circumstance or a situation that you know about. So it's almost like knowing somebody's cheating on someone else and not wanting to hurt the people who are involved. And you know that there's been deception, or you've been involved in the deception, and you're aware of it, and you kind of carry that and pretend like you don't know because it's not your place to either say, or it's hard for you to say. Okay. The next card is the Six of Swords. In the past, there's been significant movement away from the circumstances that have been going on in your life. There's been bad situations that you have left behind towards better outcomes and better solutions. The next card is the Knight of Cups. So somebody is coming in with an offer. They may be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. None of these astrological cards represent anything to do with a water sign, but this still can be an offer. If it's one of these signs, it could be an offer that is meant to be emotional, meant to be from the heart, that is kind and considerate. Maybe this is someone who's finally getting ready to say something about a very serious matter that has plagued the situation and held everybody back. Here is the next message. We have the Nine of Cups. You are feeling fulfilled as this situation comes to the surface. It's been an incredible burden on everybody involved, the fact that it's been a secret, and so everybody has been living in great strain because the situation has been controlling all of your lives. It's like trying to protect someone from the truth, and because somebody is being protected, it's not really helping even them, so everybody feels as though they're complicit and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to help the situation. They don't know how to help things along. Around you is the Seven of Pentacles, so I feel as though somebody is getting ready to offer a large investment, or somebody is waiting for the right time in order to make some kind of gesture, maybe to you. Your hopes and your fears have to do with the Five of Cups. You're fearing rather that this situation is going to produce a really big sadness and a great sadness or regret in a situation. You're really afraid that things will falter and things will break down for you. The next card is the Five of Pentacles, and so what that means is ultimately people will come together in order to muster through a situation. The person who is struggling, or the person who has struggled in the past, is no longer going to have to struggle because people are going to come to their help and try to intervene on the issue. So whatever the circumstances are going on, they're going to be greatly improved by the fact that people are going to come together and people are going to protect against some kind of bad situation that may have been evolving because somebody was too alone and without any recourse, without any social recourse in a circumstance or a situation. Hold on one sec. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. I've been having computer problems for a day now. That's why not much has come out, but I wanted to do this for you guys. So somebody's going to come in and offer some kind of help and assistance in this situation. This is going to come at the right time. It will provide reprieve. I feel as though the final answer has a lot to do with people stepping up to the plate in terms of their personal responsibilities and their compassion for other people. In the past, people have left circumstances like this behind, and now no longer are they willing to do that. I think that people are feeling as though it's really put them in the shadow. It's really put them in a negative space of their personality and is drawn out the worst qualities of their personality that is there, right? And so people get tired when they're actually good people and they're doing things that are against themselves. And so in this way, I feel as though that is being reconciled at this time. So you're getting your wish because finally things are coming to the surface, finally things are getting flushed out, and finally there's some kind of movement in a situation that has been static and has been hurting somebody for far too long. Okay, so if you chose this, here, let me pick you a Romance Angels card to clarify. Okay. So your Romance Angels card is True Love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So if you chose one, I feel like you're moving towards a good direction. It feels like the person that maybe you're interested in has been really faltering for a lack of social support and connection. And so now it seems as though other people are willing and able to provide for them support. And so this will help you because you cannot be the only person supporting this individual. You can't be the only person who in some way helps and supports this person. You have to, in some way, you have to see them through, and you have to, you hope that they have other areas of support because there's been too much negative pressure on the relationship without that, okay? So I hope that whatever answer you were looking for, that was answered with this. Just as a reminder, the 3 astrological cards, signs that seem to be involved, are Libra, Gemini, and Taurus. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to take a look at number 2s. If you guys chose number 2, why don't you guys come and watch this part of the video? If somebody wants to timestamp for this, that would be great. So here's number 2. If you chose number 2, here are your cards. Here is your spirit that brought you this message. So it's a very cute spirit. I had to turn autofocus on, so hopefully this is clear enough for you. And so let's take a look at what messages they bring. The 3 astrological signs associated with your final answer are Aquarius and Scorpio and Capricorn. Wow, okay. The 3 tough MF, right? 3 tough cookies right there. So whoever chose this, wow, okay, let's see what happens to you. What's your final answer? This is like the final showdown. It makes me think of like the final countdown, that song. It's like, yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at your answer. So your first card is the Strength card, and on top of that, Leo. Nice. Okay. So the Strength card, this is a situation that has warranted a great deal of personal strength and distance from the circumstances. In this situation, you have fought very hard to maintain your position vis-a-vis other players or other people who have been involved. You may have been challenged directly about what you believe, and you may have in some way had to defend yourself, defend your position, defend your ideas. The Crossing card is the Lover's card, so this is the card of Gemini. You have had family support to some extent, but I don't think at a fundamental level. I think the support that you've had was maybe emotional, like we love you but we hate what you do, that kind of thing. And so it's been a lonely journey for you, and I feel like this has been you trying to hold on as time pushes you by. On the top we have the Chariot. Wow, if you chose 2, that's all trumps. So this is the card of Cancer, right? The sign of Cancer. And so Chariot is To everybody else, you are glowing up. You're being successful, and people recognize how much you've accomplished. You seem to have pushed past negative circumstances and problems. Below the surface, we have the King of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Somebody who has been methodical to help you along your journey to try to set some wrongs right. So this person has had your back and has tried to support you in the direction that you are going. I feel as though there's distance between you and that person. If you're a couple, you're a very distant couple. But if you are not a couple and this is a love interest or a friend interest in some way, I feel like there is a lot of things between the two of you. And I feel like there's been a big chasm of space, a lot of space between you. You are not necessarily on the same path. In the past was the World. What is this? All trumps. So you've been given a great opportunity in the past, and that opportunity was something that seemed really amazing. But I think as you tried to pursue the thing that you wanted out of this situation, I feel like the opposition of the world had faced you and had tried you for who you are. So it's like everybody wanted a piece of you. Everybody wanted your ideas. Everybody wanted basically everybody wanted in some way to exploit you. Everybody wanted to in some way put you down and take a piece of what they felt was the good part of the idea. So everybody took their privilege over you and their power over you and tried to cut away everything that was yours. And so I feel like in some way you have moved past that, but it's been a continual struggle. The next message is the Queen of Swords. So you meet a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, maybe an Aquarius, somebody who is teaching you autonomy, somebody you're coming to her and in a tired state, you're exhausted. It could be a Gemini or an Aquarius. And so in some way you're coming to this person, and this person is teaching you or encouraging in you to have this kind of you need to wake up and see the opportunities, because these opportunities that came into your life may not come into your life again. So it's with great privilege that you get to move forward. It's with great privilege that you have almost succeeded. If you throw it away now, it will be all lost, and it will be probably the chances of you getting the same opportunities again may not happen. There's no guarantee. So it's too big an opportunity. It feels like these are demons. No offense to the Aquarius, Scorpio, and Capricorns out there, but I feel like in this respect, these three signs, whether there are Aquarius, Scorpio, and Capricorn, they signal opposition. They signal people who stand in the way, who want to kind of quench the Leo flame. They want to quench the idea, the beauty. And I feel like right now, maybe in the recent past, you have had a loss of someone in your life. Somebody has left your life, and so you feel a little bit lessened. Your entourage has gotten smaller, and so now you stand more alone, and you think, boof, I don't know if I'll have the energy to continue. I don't know if I'll be too tired to continue, or if I don't know if I'll be too tired to continue, or if I can actually make my way. So you're almost giving up on yourself, but this Queen of Swords comes in and she says, no honey, you have to get up and you have to dust it off and keep plugging away. You in this situation is the Seven of Pentacles. You've been investing your time and efforts for a long time, so you have a lot to show for yourself. It's gotten into your head, you're tired, and it's gotten into your psychology, you're tired that this circumstance as it is as it is. So you may be feeling right now like you're doing worse than you are, and so I think you're doing much better. Around you is the Five of Pentacles. There is someone around you who's really, really struggling. They're struggling hard, and so I feel like I think that act of generosity to this person is sizable, but it also teaches you about how much you have. So in your environment is someone who needs your help right now. And it's very hard when you feel like you're depleted. Here is the next message, the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like you want to be this kind of like give everything to the world, but how do you actually accomplish that? How do you actually achieve to give everything to the world when your mindset is so set on what you don't have? The outcome card is the Four of Pentacles, which is the final answer. You actually decide to choose to hold back financially, to not be you're not ready to in some way in this situation open up and be financially generous. I feel like it's too much connected to the circumstances in which you had been depleted, cut short, shortchanged emotionally, and it's almost like it's not the money that's the problem, it's the fact that how it connects to a deep reverberance of being abandoned by people, and you haven't healed that part yet, and so therefore your ability to give to others in a physical way is limited, right? So you have to honor that within yourself, because otherwise if you keep pretending that you're Six of Pentacles when in fact you're the Four of Pentacles, you burn yourself out and you will fall back even more. So there'll be more lessons, but I think the final answer in this situation is really that it's not a choice for you to, your choice isn't to keep on being altruistic, Leo-esque. Your choice really has to do with having to, in some way, kind of persevere until you feel right about giving, not to force the issue. If you look at her face, she's not to please. It's a little bit of a side-eye screw face, thing going on. She's not too pleased at the fact that somebody else is asking, because she's just given and she's just been taken from, and so now she in some way just feels the need to protect herself, and that's okay too. Here is your card for the answer. So you have the honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of a holiday time together. So believe it or not, this is the highlight of the relationship. So don't miss the good times. I think that this may be a periodic thing in which you have to kind of honor the answer, basically know that you're not ready to give physically, but it is the honeymoon of your experience, and so just honor that and enjoy your life, because later it's going to get more complicated. So it's like, take the hardline approach, Aquarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, hardline approach, you have to do it this way, or you just have to, there's no questions asked. So I think that's the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords as well. It's like, learn your boundaries, kid, before they suck you dry. So the key signs again that are influencing you with this final answer are Aquarius, Scorpio, and Capricorn. So when I said they were demons, I think that reflects the people who challenge you or undermine you in your life. But I feel as though they also represent the virtues of kind of choosing a hardline approach, taking care of yourself, knowing your boundaries and sticking to them in order to assure safety. Okay, so number threes. So here is your pile number 3. And so here we go. So this is the spirit that brought you number 3. And so this is some kind of cloud spirit, I'm not sure. So this is the spirit that we got for you guys. And we have 3 signs for you. Okay, and your 3 signs are Leo. These are the 3 signs assisting in the final answer: Cancer and Pisces. Okay, wow. Okay, so very emotional, hey, this number 3, and this is the Osho Zen Tarot, so I feel like that's going to be quite a significant. So we have Pisces, Cancer, and Leo. Very emotional time. Okay. Let's see. I feel like they're protecting you. I feel like you're really, really protected in whatever's going on. Here, I'll move this out. Let's take a look at your card. So your first card is aloneness. This is the Hermit. So you've been alone for a very long time in your circumstance, and you've been contending with the fact that it's been a lonely time, it's been an alienating time, and you just have had to accept it for what it is. I feel like these 3 signs within you, they see and sense your aloneness in the darkness, trying to figure out which way to go without too much direction as to what answer is the right answer. The crossing card is the 7 of Wands, stress. So the 7 of Wands is like, I'm going to stick up for myself regardless of what you say, and I don't have too much to trust, but I only trust that you're trying to take from me in a way that's not fair, and you're trying to limit my autonomy by suppressing who I am. And I don't fully know what I'm saying, but I know that what I'm up against is not right for me, and so I have the right to say, I'm going to protect myself, I'm going to protect my identity, and move forward in a way that does that, just that. So it's like, it's kind of like a bluff in poker where you are in some way not that sure where things will go. You're not guaranteed anything, and yet you're still kind of trying to push along because you know that what you're standing up against is not what is right for you. The top message is the 10 of Wands, suppression. So I feel like a lot of things have been weighing on you. And this is like, do you know when they say that when in life you're being stretched and everybody's challenging you, you're doing something right? I feel like this is it. It's like, it's feeling like so much is getting piled on you from every which way. It's because you are doing something right and you have to stick to your guns and hold through. There's something kinetic between people that's actually quite positive, and then there's like a negative side to it. And sometimes when you try to push away too far, the community or whatever, they try to suck you back in. So misery loves company, all those ideas. And I feel like in some way you're about to break free away from the influence of other people, but in the same way there's just so much energetic stuff getting thrown at you to take you back in. So it may seem disjointed and disconnected, but suddenly you have this and that and the other, and from every single way there is troubling stuff that you have to contend with. So everything is coming at you now very forcefully, trying to get you to let go because you're almost there. So that's the final answer. I think that's a really key part of this spread. We have the 9 of Swords in the bottom. So you're and on top of that you have great sadness within you, in which you are suffering, in which your heart is broken, and you are contending with deep sorrow and sadness. I'm not sure what the sadness is directed at. I'm not sure if it's people or if it's just the general state of things, but I feel like you are pushing through so hard even though you are consistently experiencing deep sorrow and regret. And so this makes this even that much harder, because on a good day when you're trying to push through, it's tough, but when you're feeling weak and it's gotten into your head, then that's that much harder. In the past is the Queen of Swords. Somebody has put through very specific rules and reason, and sometimes that's helpful and protective, but sometimes that's limiting as well. The oncoming energy is celebration. Boy, you need this. And this is where these guys come in. Pisces, Cancer, and Leo. And I feel like in some way they're just wanting to bring you joy and give you water. If water was emotion, it feels like you are currently in completely depleted state with no sympathy, no emotion. And so now they're coming in to give you kind of reprieve energetically, right? Here is the next message. This is you. This is sharing. So the bright light that all the moths are flying to is you. They're all flying to you. You're sharing of yourself. You're sharing of your experiences. And you're wanting to share of your heart. That's why you're being so challenged. It's like, everything in the darkness sees the light burning. And so some of those things don't want the light. And so I think that that's what's really come after you at a certain point, energetically speaking. And then it's channeled through the people you know and the situations you've been experiencing, leaving you confused and alone. They've just been basically taking away from your light, because your light burns the brightest. Here is around you, we have the Five of Cups, clinging to the past, disappointment. I feel like you need to really be careful for friends and environmental factors that are going to try to sucker you back in. I don't think that it's their intention to do that, but I think that if they get your head going like this, if they get your head feeling the regret, so maybe the friend who betrays you or the friend who brings you down is not as significant as the general sadness that you experience, but it's a trigger, and it pushes your button, and it makes you connect to ideas and things that do run deep. And so whether it's consciously or unconsciously, these friends and these people are in some way perpetuating clinging to the past, right? Clinging to the sadness of past experiences that will not emancipate you. And so what you need to do is step into the joy and the happiness of being, and continually work on letting go of, know it's a struggle, know you have to face it like a soldier, know why it's happening, and know what your triggers are, which is people in your environment who are going to disappoint you, people who will, when they see you excited about something, say no just in order to get that low. And I don't think many people do that on purpose. I just think people just do that, and it could be a reverberation of the programming that this person has put in place, the belief systems and the things that she's conveyed to you, that you've believed, that you've internalized. You are now in some way, kind of working through. So you're not the Queen of Swords, you're the Queen of Wands, and you're bright and you're offering hope to the world. She has a purpose too, but for your purposes, I feel like this intense morality and limitations has left you like this. It's like, no, you can't burn bright because it's indecent. She's the one who's like that. I get a lot of people like that commenting on my channel. Veroosh, don't be so this or that, don't have life in your heart. And Queen of Swords, I have to have respect for the sign. I know some wonderful Queens of Swords who have very great discernment, and they're fun and they're logical and all that. But for your purpose in this situation, this Queen of Swords and her morality has been doing nothing but scathing your light, right? And then on top of that, you have emotionally low vibrational people around you who are in some way bringing you down. So I don't think it's purposefully for the most part, but they're creating situations, and it's just to get that emotional low, because that's what they're feeling, so they can feel like it's the same as they know. That's what people do, is they bring it down to what they know in order to feel like it's the right thing. That's why bad energy sometimes persists. Here we go, but not here. So what you're hoping for is the Master, one step at a time. This is an extra card in the Osho Zen Tarot. One step at a time. You can't move mountains in a day. So just take it one step at a time. That will come in time. So be patient and consistent with your message. You have nothing to worry about. The Source, the Ace of Wands, something new is coming in. There's going to be a great celebration, a great joy. There's going to be some kind of light is going to spark your fire, and you're on the cusp of something great, provided you don't let go, provided you don't stay in, provided that you open up and connect with the Source, because the Source wants you to be connected. It wants her to be her, and it wants you to be her. It wants these are like three little fairies that are buzzing around you, that are like, hello, come have fun, here's some water to drink. Water being emotions, right? Okay, so you guys got a big one. Sorry, the Osho one, the reason I had them all piled up in the center was because I didn't want to pre-program which pile was which, although I didn't know what cards were inside. But the Osho Zen is always a deep read for me. I find it one of the best decks. Let go of control issues. This situation, allow the situation to unfold naturally, And this is again to do with the programming of the Queen of Swords, because she's, you know, this is like a strict grandmother who says you don't want to ever show your knees, you know. I don't know, that's really old school. I have a literature degree, so like I get into like the old school stuff, but like this is someone who is so moralistic that she may even mean well, but when you employ these things, these beliefs and restricted ways of doing things, you can't burn in a natural way. And I think you're about to get a chance. I think you're about to get a chance to kind of succeed, you know, provided don't let go. Just keep burning bright. Okay, number 3. I love this card. This is such like the best thing you can get, the Ace of Rods, you know. And not because of that, if you guys are giggling, I can feel you giggling. Okay, number 4 is, let's take a look at this. And I'm sorry because my computer, I started a little choppy because my computer got, I don't know, whatever, jacked up. I gotta fix it. I've been fixing it all day. So anyway, so if you chose number 4, this is your little spirit that's brought this. A lot of water spirits coming through, you know, an air spirit. Okay, so here we go. This is the 3 signs that are associated with your pick. So you have Sagittarius, okay, hey girl, hey. And then we have Virgo, that's me. And then we have Aries. Ooh, fire and earth. That sounds steamy. Look at this. This is hot. Okay, so you're gonna have fun. And then I'm also laughing because this is the pile that got the Monera Tarot. So it's a little bit risque, but I think we can handle it. So your first card is the 3 of Air. There's been a broken heart in your situation. So something has offered things to you and have foregone the commitments that were given. And in some way, I feel especially the Aries and the Virgo see that, and they're offended, they're angry. And when Virgo and Aries get angry, whoever's against you is in trouble. Sagittarius sees the bigger picture. They're harder to convince in terms of what's right and what's wrong, because they're just like, they have sometimes, and sorry for the Sages out there, I'm not throwing shade, but it's true that Sag, sometimes when you guys like are in a situation, they see the big perspective, and it's not to be a douche, but they just don't really, they're not really like, they just see the world perspective about things, right? Here is your crossing card. We have the 10 of Wands again. Okay, and it's kind of can seem unsympathetic, but it actually, in the bigger picture, the Sag perspective is healthy as well. It complements the whole. It brings everything into fusion together, that your experience and your suffering is not only yours, but it's actually connected to a bigger world picture. In the bigger scope of things, you're okay and everybody's okay, right? But it can feel unsympathetic if you have the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, right? So you can be feeling really alone, really isolated and stuck. And I feel like they're mad. I can just feel the Virgos, you guys are mad, and Aries, they're pissed off too. Aries is more like heartbroken for you, you know, in this situation. And then we have the native of air at the top, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, somebody bringing in information. You're hoping that somebody's going to bring in information. You're hoping that there's going to be more told to you about the situation. Here is the next message. Below the surface is the 2 of Cups. A deep love and a deep admiration for a situation. Was this a situation that required that you wait? Was this a situation that you required that you have to wait and contend with some things before you can move forward? This suffering might have to do with ending, and not ending, sorry, maybe ending, right? That was a Freudian slip. But what I was intending to say was maybe this 3 of Swords has to do with waiting something out because of too many problems. And so even though they're angry, they have to let you make your choice and wait for something to come through that you are hoping, even though it's weighing on you greatly. I think that you're waiting for more information to come through. In the past was 10 of Swords. Harsh words were said, very harsh words, maybe when the sun was in Gemini, but harsh words were said, and you know, hearts were broken, the end seemed near, and one thing had to be let go completely. There was a complete cessation of a situation. It was a roadblock, whether it was a romantic situation or a non-romantic situation. It was really kind of a dead end for the time being. Now it's the 9 of Fire. You've built up yourself and you've pretended like that doesn't exist. You pretend as though the things of the past didn't break your heart, although you're still living in this sort of, how do you say this? You're still living in this sort of denial phase where you're not truly yet healed, and yet you are still trying to make nice and pretend. Because the love, to me, this 2 of Cups ran really, really deep. It was a really, really deep love. So now you're like running around shopping, doing whatever to cover up the sadness. And you've moved on with your life. You've moved on, but did your heart move on? I think you're still sort of there. You in this situation is the 4 of Cups. Something's coming through. I don't think this is the final answer reading, right? So something's coming through that's gonna make you perk up. We'll see if it produces an outcome. Around you is the Empress, a huge influence of your mother over a situation, or a strong female figure is close around you, telling you how to progress and giving you a lot of influence. Then we have the Strength card, your hopes and fears. Maybe you're afraid of Leo. Maybe that's why you have Aries and Sag around. But I feel like in some way you hope for passion, and yet you also are afraid of passion. You're afraid of, you're afraid of passion. That's it. You're afraid of opening up your heart. So you live this kind of, superficial life in order not to in some way touch upon the truth of the matter, the fact that something that you loved deeply had ended, and you had forever been waiting for. Even this is almost like, when you're sitting in a quiet room and like a bird flies across in front of the window and it produces a shadow in front of your on your wall, and you like jump up because you're just waiting for anything, any kind of little flutter of whatever. The outcome card is the 4 of Fire. So we have 444. Did we have 444? No, we just have 2 4s. Okay, so the 4 of Fire. This is like a happy family, happy and contentment. I'm wondering if you're not leaning into like a new relationship in which on the surface there is like a love situation, in order to try to push further and further away from the hurt. Maybe you lost someone, maybe somebody passed away. There's a lot of 10s back here. Maybe it was too hard maybe it was too hard to touch. Maybe it was too much of an influence. But I feel like, well, you're pushing into something for sure. You're pushing into all your force. You're pushing in towards a new relationship or a new dynamic. But like, I feel like this is one of those situations that when you wake up and you're 60 and you're like, darn, I really wish there was a way. So if you have it in you in any way, my advice is for you to reach out and to address the broken heart. But you have to make that decision for yourself. You can't be, because you'll forever be reminiscing. It's like the cute boy next door who you never talk to. It's the girl next door that you've known since you were 10 years old and you never said anything. So it's one of those situations where there is a lot of really sincere longing, and unless you address it, you will forever be I don't think this Three of Swords will heal, because it feels like you've already pushed into a different situation where it's this superficial thing. But I feel like this is going to crack. You know, this is not going to stand the test of time. I just think you're going to try to move on, and still waiting for any little shadow, any little peep of anything. And I think that you just need to cut yourself the misery and, you know, whatever. But this is like a stable home, family. Here is your card. We have past life relationship. You have known each other before. So it was karmic, and I think that I feel really strongly that you should in some way reach into the past and try to just address it. If it's going to hurt, it's going to hurt, but you'll find closure when you open that door. And I think that the main thing is that your love, your Two of Cups, is captured, and you need to release it in order to fully move on. And I don't think you'll be with the person that you're in a relationship with now. Either we'll be with this person, or you'll release it, look for something deeper, break up with this situation, and move on to the right direction. So that's your final answer. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. Please leave a like and a comment. And thank you guys so much. Have a nice day. Bye.